Good day. Today we are reading from Keep On Pushing Hot Lessons from Cool Runnings by Devon Harris. And we are on page 37. KOP 5. KOP stands for Keep On Pushing. And here are six of them. I'm sorry about last week. I accidentally remembered I was supposed to be somewhere where I was holding a meeting. Oh boy. Okay, KOP 5, embrace change. If there is one thing that you can be sure of, it is that change will happen. It is a natural, inevitable part of life and remains one of the most important factors affecting our lives today. Perhaps more than at any other time in human history, the speedy infusion of new ideas, knowledge, products, and services is creating unprecedented and amazing possibilities for everyone. Apart from being the natural order of things, why is change taking place at such an alarming rate? It is becomes it is because some individuals decided to keep on pushing. They are always looking for better, faster, more efficient ways to do things. They are relentless in pursuing their own potential, and that is reflected in the ideas that they conjure up and the things that they do. The high achiever knows that growth is a precursor to success, and that growth only occurs when you are willing to embrace change and move out of your comfort zone. In 2000, digital music players were either big and chunky or small and useless, with equally terrible user interfaces. On October 23rd, 2001, Apple Incorporated launched the iPod, which went on to become the best selling digital audio player series in history. At the time, most MP3 players used controls that were better suited to the Sony Walkman in 1979. I had one of those. I had an Iowa Walkman. So instead of using skip buttons, a user could spin a wheel on the front of the device to scroll through a list of songs to find the one they wanted to play. The same wheel was also used to control the menus of the system. As a result, it was much easier to navigate through the iPod's playlist than the comparable Nomad or Compact MP3 players. Since the release of the initial iPod with a capacity of 5 gigabytes, Apple has created an entire family of iPods to include the iPod Mini, Nano, and the iPod Touch, which are much smaller but equipped with capacities of up to 64 gigabytes. The need to embrace the inevitability of change is true for our personal lives as well as for our professional lives. It applies to individuals as well as multi-billion-dollar corporations. Successful people, whether they be entrepreneurs or executives, students or teachers, tradespeople or professionals, are always learning and developing new skills, and thereby having a much greater chance of remaining relevant in this increasingly competitive world. Successful companies are invariably those that research and develop new products and strategies and implement new systems. These companies and the people who make them up are motivated at every level to step out of their comfort zones, to be open to fresh ideas, to allow themselves to see the possibility of change. As the historian Eric Hoffer wrote, in times of change, learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. Ooh. KOP 6. Take personal responsibility. People have a tendency to readily accept responsibility for things that are going well in their lives and abandon responsibility for the things that are going unsatisfactorily. They blame their bosses, their parents, their spouses, the economy, and anyone else they can find for things that are less than ideal in their lives. What they fail to realize is that this level of thinking is restrictive and prevents them from employing all their faculties to overcome the challenges facing them. To paraphrase Albert Schweitzer, keep on pushing means that you stop attributing your problems to your environment and once again learn to exercise your will, your personal responsibility. It means that you stop making excuses for your perceived shortcomings and constantly work to strengthen your areas of weakness. When you keep on pushing, you are empowering yourself. You cannot control everything that happens to you, but there is no better feeling than knowing that you have the power to control your own destiny. As Elaine Maxwell said, I am the force. I can clear any obstacle before me, or I can be lost in the maze. My choice, my responsibility, win or lose, only I hold the key to my destiny. The successful ones understand that that through free will, they can choose to take actions which will create the kind of results they desire. Setbacks and changes are viewed as opportunities for personal development, allowing them to become stronger, wiser, more knowledgeable, and more skillful. Taking personal responsibility is the price you pay to achieve the greatness you are capable of. Key points to remember in lesson 1. You will always have a bag of plausible excuses for not achieving your goals. You either produce excuses or you produce results. You cannot do both. When you keep on pushing, you eventually produce the results you desire. High achievers use High achievers use the challenges they face on their way to their goals to feed their hunger. They develop a need to prove to themselves that they can achieve their goals. They know that success doesn't come cheap, and so they make sacrifices and endure all kinds of difficulty in order to achieve it. Persistence forces you to think outside the box and to come up with creative ways to achieve your goals. No one is immune from challenges, setbacks, weaknesses, and liabilities. Do not use them as crutches. Work through them with the attitude that it is impossible for you to fail. Your first actions might not be successful. Oftentimes, you have to go through a learning curve as you work to achieve your goals. Goal achievement is like problem solving. Problems are often solved through persistent trial and error. Lack of persistence is one of the biggest reasons for failure. People simply give up, and once you've given up, you've accepted defeat. Sometimes things simply will not go your way, but if you don't quit, you must achieve your goals. Assignments. Take inventory of your life, skills, accomplishments, possessions, etc., to establish a baseline. Number 2, as clearly as you can, from the vantage point of your baseline, define what you would like your life to be. Number 3, commit yourself and begin to do everything in your power to transform the image you have described into your new baseline. Number 4, repeat number 2. Remember to go as far as you can see, because when you get there, you will see farther. Okay, so there are photos here, and I'm going to show them to you next time. All right, so we will talk to you again later. Okay, old Kinderhead.